All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing good. Going to be talking about the Summer Wells case and the Suzanne Morphew case and the whole deal about Barry Morphew getting rearrested. Before I do get started, though, I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to leave a super thanks in the comment section, you can do that, or if you want to hit that PayPal link in the description, you can also do that too. And with that being said, let's get into it. There are, I'll start with the Barry Morphew thing. I'll just get it out of the way. So we know Barry Morphew's been rearrested for the murder of Suzanne Morphew. Now, the question that I've got, I could show a lot of documents and go over this. I could probably spend 6 hours talking about Barry Morphew. But bottom line is, after they discovered Suzanne's body and discovered that, it had all that, it had the tranquilizer chemicals in her body. The thing that bothers me is after they found out all that, it still took this long to arrest or rearrest Barry Morphew. So that's got me worried, guys. That's got me thinking, just how strong of a case do they have against him? You know what I mean? Now, like all cases, and I mean every case, it depends on, number one, how good the defense attorney is. Like when you get in the courtroom, it's basically which side is able to pretty much convince the jury, right? The jury must convict, beyond a reasonable doubt, but there's also a difference between getting, getting a $20,000 defense attorney and a $250,000 defense attorney. Big difference. And a big difference in what you're going to get too, right? So I'm thinking that the prosecutor's office saw that. They saw that firsthand when things were kind of getting into court when they arrested him the first time. You know what I mean? So I think the reason it took so long to rearrest Barry was because they wanted to make sure, okay, we need someone to play defense attorney and come at us, so we have an idea of how they're going to try to tear us apart, right? So they probably done like a mock trial, and had people come at the prosecutors. They probably done role play many times before rearresting Barry Morphew. So, but as I always say, always expect the unexpected when you go to court, right? There's a lot of things that, the mood of the judge, that one's the big one. The mood of the judge, the mood of the jury. How well is the prosecution team? Are they gonna bore the jury to death? Is the defense team gonna bore the jury to death? Is the defense team going to, come out and go, that way the prosecution goes, damn, we didn't expect that. It could happen, guys. It could happen. If Barry Morphew has access to a lot of money still, he could get a pretty good defense team. I'd say if Barry can get 200 grand, he could get a damn good defense team for him. And I think that if anything, the prosecution says, we're ready, that we're as ready as we can be. If we don't go ahead and get this, you know, in the courtroom, we're never going to be ready. So to me, it just sounds like they're ready. Whatever happens, happens. They're going to give it their best go, and you know, they're going to have, in my opinion, a lot going for them. But if Barry Morphew has a lot of money and hires a really good, you know, defense attorney from a good firm, then it's gonna be it's gonna be a damn good trial if he does. That's all I'll say about it. It'll be a damn good trial. It may. I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, if Barry Morphew hires a great defense attorney, man, this could go down as like OJ 2.0. I'm telling you, those are the vibes that I'm getting off this Barry Morphew rearrest thing. So I'm gonna monitor it, do my videos on it. So we'll see where this goes. But if Barry Morphew doesn't hire adequate defense team, I'd say the prosecution's got it in the bag. I do. And I'll just say that. And the only reason I'm saying this, guys, is why if Barry Morphew hires a good defense team, is just because it makes me nervous that it took so long for them to rearrest him. That's the only reason why I'm saying this. I'm questioning how good the prosecution's case is because it took them so long to rearrest him, right? And because they went ahead and rearrested him and all that stuff, you know, indictment came down on him. It's to the prosecution, it's now or never, in my opinion. So we'll see how things play out. It'll be very interesting. Will it be OJ 2.0? Could very well be. Could be. All right, now in the Summer Wells case, there's people talking. There's theories out there. There's been the theory out there that Hunter may have drowned Summer at Warriors Pass State Park. There's a theory out there that Candace took Hunter out there, and all this was planned. Candace, but you know, Hunter, of course, had to have a little bit of liquid courage to do it. And there's some people even saying that maybe Hunter done something to Summer in the back of the truck while Candace and Grandis went into Priceless. Okay. That would make more sense to me if Hunter done something to Summer, like if Hunter took Summer's life. I couldn't see someone doing it at Warriors, and here's the whole reason. I mean, we know Dawn and Candace are kind of sick in the head, right? They're not right. Not bashing, just stating a fact. There, we know they're not right in the head, but I mean, you really got to be a sick individual to ride around. Let's not forget, after they left Warriors, they went back to the Walgreens to get the prescription, went to Sonic, went to Priceless. They done a lot of running around. And if Summer's dead body was in that pickup truck the whole time they were running around town, that's a special kind of sick. That's just a special kind of sick, right? That's why I'm saying and I'm not accusing Hunter of doing anything. I'm just going with these theories that people are, putting out there. I'm thinking if Hunter did do anything because, Candace wanted it done, in my opinion, the timing probably would have been perfect to do it Priceless, maybe with a pillow or something like that. And because that way, I think from Priceless, they went straight to Hunter's, and then Candace went home. Okay. That wouldn't leave a lot of time driving around with a dead body in the car, right, in the truck. So, but if you have Summer's dead body at Warriors, and then you got to do all this running around in town, and then go home. It's just, I mean, it's just, I mean, all you gotta do is get pulled over for, I mean, it just, no, that's just too risky, in my opinion. Too risky. There's just too much time with her body being in that truck to possibly get pulled over for something, whether it be speeding, a sketchy lane change. We've all been there. We've all been there just, driving, doing this. Now all of a sudden we see lights behind us. We're like, I'm doing a speed limit, right? And the cop pulls something out of the air like, oh, well, you didn't signal when you changed lanes. Or, do you know you got a brake light out? Whatever the case may be, right? We've all been there and had that happen to us. Just, we're like, really? I ain't speeding. What could it be? That's just how easy it is just for things to go haywire with a dead body in a car. So, in my opinion, and just going with this whole theory, more than likely, I would have to say, if he did anything for Candace, like taking Summer out, he would have had to done it at Priceless while they were, and again, it also, would Candace and Grandis want to see it done? Like if Candace wanted Hunter to take Summer out, maybe they would have seen it at the park, maybe not. Maybe that was the whole reason why they stopped at Priceless, so they could go in and not have to witness it being done. Just my opinion on this whole theory about Hunter possibly taking Summer's life. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to address, because some people was emailing me and saying, hey, Don, what do you think about people speculating that Hunter may have, killed Summer at the Warriors Path watering, or, the swim hole? What do you think? What do you think? And I give it some thought. And, with this, in this day and age, I don't put anything past anybody. But given the totality of everything, it would make more sense to do it at Priceless versus the water hole, just because you would have less time of a dead body being in that truck if you done it at Priceless versus the water hole. So, let's say if Summer was killed at Priceless, she's probably only going to be in the truck maybe, if the time frame is right, she's probably going to only be in the truck maybe an hour. Just a few minutes to get Hunter home, and then whatever it takes to get to 110 Ben Hill Road from Hunter's home. I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's probably a 20-minute drive to get to Summer's house from Hunter's house. About 20-minute drive. So, 20, and how far, it probably takes, I'm going to say it probably takes about 15 minutes to get from Priceless to Hunter's house. So there's 15, and then 20, 35 minutes. So around 35 minutes, if Summer's body was in that, if Summer's body was in that truck from Priceless. Now, if her body was in there dead from Warriors Path, you're looking at maybe closer to 2 hours, because of all the places they went, then to Priceless, then to Hunters, and then to 110 Ben Hill Road. 1.5 to 2 hours. That's a long time, in my opinion. Like, if I was going to ride around with a dead body in my car, I wouldn't do it for no 2 hours. If I'm wanting to get away with it, I'm going to be like, this body's going to be in here for the shortest amount of time, not the longest. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, if something was done to Summer by Hunter, it would have been done at Priceless. Just for the sheer fact of you just got more stuff to go wrong as far as getting pulled over by the police or, whatever. I mean, what if the truck broke down? Now we got now the truck's broke down. We got a dead body in here. Now what? You know what I mean? So, stuff like that. Never know. So anyway, that's my take on everybody contacting me about possibly Hunter, you know, taking Summer's life at the swim hole. If anything, it would make more sense if he'd done something like that to do it at Priceless, right? And this is just if, because people are talking about it all of a sudden, and you know the theory's out there, and everybody wants to know my opinion on it. So that's my opinion. So again, the whole thing, everybody wants to know my opinion on Hunter. I guess not wanting to do an interview with Chris McDonough or a re-interview with Chris McDonough or whatever. I think just to keep the waters from being muddy from an investigative standpoint, if Hunter doesn't want to do an interview with anybody, I have to respect that. And I respect that on the grounds of if he has any information, I think he should preserve. I think everything should be preserved until court, until this thing gets into court. And, you know, like it or not, Hunter's going to be a witness, right? He's going to be a witness. So I think all the information should be preserved for court. And then then the public, it's like, it's kind of like jurors, they don't want jurors talking to the public until everything's over. Then y'all go talk about the trial and everything like that. Same thing with witnesses. If Hunter doesn't want to talk to the public, I have to respect it as far as the investigative standpoint goes, just because he's a witness. And I guarantee you he'll be called as a witness in this when it goes to court, right? So I have to respect his wishes of not talking to the public. If he wishes to talk to the public after this thing goes to court, I'm all for it, But until then, I think to not muddy the waters, just because he's going to be such an important witness, right? I think everything should be preserved until it does go to court. That's what I think. Because right now, look at the last interview. Everybody's saying this, they're saying that. They don't know how to take this, they don't know how to take that he said. And we don't want Hunter... we just want everything to be cut and dry, crystal clear, as clear as it can be when it does go to court. We don't want, this brought up, that brought up, and then again, if he was to do another interview with Chris McDonough and say some stuff that wasn't said before, just because he's nervous, or maybe because he words something differently. Can you imagine the thousands of phone calls that TBI would end up getting? Now, Hunter could go, it could be like, they could do in my opinion, Chris and Hunter could do a repeat of the last interview, word for word, and there would still probably be 1,000 calls TBI. Did y'all hear him say this? Yeah, that was said in the last interview. Oh, I guess I need to go back and watch it. I must have, it's been so long, I must have forgot he said that. You see what I'm saying, guys? So it's just, it would take, and of course, when people call TBI, no matter, it would, I think it would just excite everybody from psychics to who knows what. And TBI would be getting phone calls, from Timbuktu, Rancho Cucamonga. They'd be getting phone calls from Sesame Street. The electric company would be calling them, Who knows? But, I just think if he's not wanting to talk to the public right now until this thing goes to court, I have to honor his wishes. I have to respect that. Especially from a like a legal and investigative standpoint, I've got to respect it. So anyway, that's my take on that. Nothing else really to talk about, guys. Drop your comments. Let me know if you agree, disagree, whatever. And I'll holler at you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in.